Our initial guest is our show sponsor, as I mentioned, the summit at Sunland Springs. Please welcome co-owner and general manager, Mr. Craig Ahlstrom Jr. Craig, good to have you here.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me. And yes, that act will be hard to follow for me, for sure.
That's right. I noticed no musical instruments, and that was by design. We've.
Oh yeah. I wanted your ratings to skyrocket today, not to crash with me trying to sing.
Well, tell us what's going on at Sunland Springs and bring us up to date on what you're doing up there.
Yeah, so as you know, my dad, Craig Ahlstrom Sr., my grandpa, Ross Farnsworth, have been here in the Valley for a lot of years, and they have built retirement communities. My grandpa started Farnsworth Development Company in like 1959, I think. That was when it was, and they built a lot of active adult communities in Mesa. Anyways, 4 major communities later and 50 years later, my dad and grandpa decided to build the summit at Sunland Springs. I was with them at the time, and I was in an age where it made a lot of sense to not only build an assisted living and memory care community, but I was able to jump on board and be the on-site executive director, which was a lot of fun. And that opened in January of 2013, the same year that my grandpa Ross Farnsworth passed away. And so since then, man, we've gone 7 years, and we've had a lot of fun. We've learned a lot of lessons, and the summit at Sunland Springs is out there on Signal Butte between Baseline and Guadalupe, helping our aging seniors age with dignity and with the help they need, but getting out of their way when they just want some independence. And so we're still there, and our team's on site doing a great job just kind of supporting each other and supporting our residents through this really weird coronavirus time. And they're just fighting the good fight.
That's awesome. Well, you know, it seems like, by the way, I've been to your property numerous times. It's beautifully built and maintained, and it's a great system. It just makes sense. Literally, a lot of your residents just move from the 55 and older community to the summit. Is that correct?
Yeah, the hope was that there would be some that needed some help that lived in the homes built by my grandpa and my dad, right? So there would be some that would need assistance. They love the community, Sunland Springs, and they would be able to, receive assistance at the summit at Sunland Springs, which is pretty much right inside of the active adult community. So when they need assistance, or when their cognition starts to decline a little bit and they need some what is the term is called memory care, we would be there to help them as they needed those additional services, which were not previously offered in the communities built by my dad and grandpa. So we now provide assisted living and memory care services real close to their homes. For those that need assistance, we're there to help out. So it's really cool. And we've done some really different and innovative things on the memory care and the dementia side over the last couple of years. I don't know if you're getting to that or if I can kind of give a quick snapshot on what we're doing there.
Sure. Please do.
So one of the things that we were challenged with when we built this is we wanted to be different. Everybody in this meeting, and Sherry knows, and Glenn, yourself, there's a lot of communities that provide assisted living in the Valley. There's a lot of us. We wanted to create something that would be unique to us. A couple of years ago, I read a book that was given to me by somebody named, the book was called The End of Alzheimer's, and it was a doctor who was a neurologist named Dr. Dale Bredesen. In this book, he created and shared his experiences and a recipe that he has seen as he has completed studies that have helped people's cognition improve. Those that had early onset dementia, those that were in the middle stages, he was able to create some system and identify what areas of their brain, what areas of their body needed to be tweaked, which would help them improve their situation. That was a couple of years ago. And since then, we've been able to create a program and a protocol on site called the Enhanced Protocol, based on this book that was written by Dr. Bredesen called The End of Alzheimer's. We're able to take individuals through a series of tests and protocols that help us to identify why they're struggling. and it's way more in depth and it's way more detailed than what you would get in your average memory care community. And we follow what we call our detailed roadmap with these residents that puts them through different exercises, looks closely at their diet and what they're eating, make sure we have the right supplements. We're not big proponents of medications. We think medications are way overused in the industry in general. We try to steer people clear of meds if possible. And all of this is done under the guidance of physicians, of course, that we work closely with. It is unique and it is different to the summit at Sunland Springs. And I would just invite anybody that's interested in learning more about how they can help improve their cognitive situation, if they're feeling more forgetful than normal, if they're feeling a little panicked, like something's different today than it was a couple years ago. We have the ability to help assess them in ways that previously were not done. And it's really exciting. And for the last couple of years, we've perfected this at the community. And we've been able to help some people improve their situation in our memory care and assisted living community. So that's one thing that we do different at the summit. It's called the Enhanced Protocol. And if anybody watching today or has any interest, I would just ask you to reach out to me or to the community and get some more information. It's some revolutionary, cool stuff that's very helpful.
That's awesome. Hey, one other thing I wanted to ask you, what's the 10-person program that you're going to kick off in October? What is that all about?
Yeah, that's a perfect follow-up to what I just said. We previously have not done this with people from their homes, right? So it's been people that live in the community that are our residents that we can watch closely and help out. We've gotten to a point where we feel pretty confident with how the program works, and we have what we call a memory coach on site. And we are going to have 10 people from outside of the community starting in October 2020 be able to participate and go through this program. So it's the first time we're going to go kind of outside of the community and work with people. They can still stay in their homes, and we're going to be able to do the tests with them and walk them through getting a roadmap and then coach them through the program to hopefully help them see some improvements. So that's October 2020. We're going to help 10 people through that, and we hope we get some traction on that.
That's awesome. Well, I know you guys are, you're building communities, but you're building multi-generational programs for families all over the East Valley. So good for you. It's got to be exciting, and things are always changing. And I hope you save a suite for me. I'm sure I'm going to, the point is rapidly approaching.
Oh, God.
Going to need some help.
Mark, you and I would have a lot of fun together. I know that.
Well, you know what? I think golf is an important activity, music and golf. Let's see if we can incorporate some of that. I'll come out to Sunland Springs and we'll do it.
You and me would have a lot of fun. That's all I'll say to that.
Well, continue the good fight on this. I know you and your dad and your grandpa's got to be proud of you for what he started, and boy, you guys have taken it to the next degree. So, good job on that, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for everybody watching this for being this episode's sponsor, the Summit at Sunland Springs. Mr. Craig Ahlstrom Jr. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody.